you could ask anybody, like I was just a happy, outgoing guy and everything, but it's just like deep down inside, you know, I was broken. Like I got diagnosed with severe anxiety and depression my junior year of high school. I was having like suicidal thoughts and everything. Even like my freshman year of college, I was still like, you know, being like just constantly like doubting myself, you know, doubting like why I was created. I would say my life before Christ was really just scared of God. Really, I grew up in a Christian household on my father's side, grew up in a divorced home. But I grew up with my grandmother, you know, just like beating me over the head with the Bible, just like saying like, if you sin, you're going to hell. You know, I didn't really experience God's grace. Before Christ, you know, I was just really like searching for satisfaction in other things and trying to find that satisfaction that was very, very temporary. I got into a relationship my sophomore year of high school, and we crossed boundaries that just like were things like I would say I would never do, but you know, they ended up happening. And that also came with like immense guilt. And because of like my previous like knowledge of the Bible that wasn't very much, you know, I was like, oh, I'm going to hell. You know, I did this. I didn't really experience God's grace and God's love for that. I was like, well, I'm already this deep down into sin. Like I might as well just keep on sinning. It got to the point to where my girlfriend at the time, we were just both like sad, you know, we're just both like, what is going on in our lives, you know, we're seeking this satisfaction, it's not fulfilling us. And then, you know, we came here to Ball State University, both decided to come to the same college, and she got involved in this ministry, which is Crew. What really like stood out to me was just how she was growing in community. She was really growing, reading her Bible every day. Meanwhile, like I'm still sitting here struggling. You know, I'm not wanting anything to deal with Crew. I feared God, and I didn't want a relationship with him because I didn't think he wanted a relationship with me, you know? And then I heard about this missions trip that Crew was doing, which is Ocean City, New Jersey, and I remember she was just trying to get me to go on it, and I'm like, no, like, I do not want to go on it. I was actually supposed to go out to Colorado with one of my best friends and live out there for the summer, and my girlfriend would always just be like, you can always come to Ocean City. I was like, no, like that's not for me at all, like no. And then it finally fell through to where I just wasn't able to go to Colorado anymore, and to where I went to Ocean City. I was like, well, God, like if this is really what you want me to do, like I might as well just do it. And so I went, and like, you know, I fell in love with the gospel. I fell in love with Jesus again. I was really able to experience his love and like find out like God really does forgive us for everything, that like every sin that we do, like our past, present, and future. I remember sitting there like watching the sun go down. I'm like, God, like you created, you know, all this beautiful stuff. Like the sunset's going down, it's gorgeous and it's beautiful, and it's just like, why did you create me? You know, it's like, I'm sitting here like, I'm going against you, you know, and within like a flick of a finger, like you have everything like to your power, like everything to your glory, and yet like you created me, and I'm your greatest like creation, but yet I sin and I go against you. And that's when I was just like, God's not gonna forgive me for the things I've done in the past. Like, there's no way. But once somebody sat me down, it's like, Gavin, like, God forgives you, like, over and over and over and over again, you know, for all those things. Like, God carries that baggage with you. I mean, like, for you. And so, recognizing that, like, meant a lot. If he looks at me and, like, he's like, my beautiful child, and, like, my beautiful creation, like, if he looks at me like that, and yet like I go against him still, and like, and he forgives me for it, it's just like, why would you do that? And it's because of God's love for me. He loves me so much, like once again, like, he sent his only son to die for me, right? It's just like, I'm so unworthy of it. I go against you, God, every single day, and yet like you choose like to open up your arms still and hug me whenever I run back to you. And so that night just like really like flipped the switch in me to where I was just like, I'm surrendering it all to you, God, and like literally every single aspect of my life is yours. I want people to know that like God does love you and that he does care for you tremendously. That like no matter what you do or no matter like what you've done, God's already taken it on the cross for us. He's already paid for it all, and like we are forgiven for it. No matter how big the sin is, no matter how small the sin is, like he's always going to be there for us.